everybody, Valeria here. I just wanted to come in here today and give you a quick message right before you listen to this wonderful channel message that just came through about trust, about expansion, about believing in yourself. Is such a powerful message that everyone needs to hear. But I want to talk to you about a new container that I just downloaded. I think it was the 21st, 22nd of December. And it is an 8-week course where we come in and we really learn how to trust ourselves, how to expand, how to heal on a deep level. It is a group container that is going to really connect you with so much, not just your guys, your higher self or the divine, but also with other people in the group. It is called the Crystalline Connection, and it's really is going to bring you home. The words that I heard was like, welcome home. So if you have been feeling lost, or you have been feeling as if you are needing or wanting more support, check it out. Check it out on my website. I'm going to put the link underneath in the podcast here so you can look it up. But check it out because it has such a powerful energy behind this where you can really move forward and in a really fast way to heal really deeply. And you might be thinking like, heal what? What do I need to heal? Well, healing is really important in doing this work and connecting with anything that you want to connect with, because when we heal, we are actually making space in our energetic body. And when you make space, you fill that space with more light. And when you fill yourself with more light, that's when the connections happen. All right, I'm not going to take any more time of that. Again, just check it out on my website or on the link below. And I love you and enjoy this episode because it's fantastic. Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, the guys are really coming down strongly with a message of trust. Trust, trust, trust. And this is part of a message for all of you who are wanting to create a stronger bond, a stronger connection with other realms. If you are already doing yoga, practicing yoga, I should say, or qigong or meditation, and you're doing the things that you feel drawn to do in order to calm your mind, in order to make that connection, know that is your first step, that you are actually doing these things because that was your soul whispering to you and guiding you in the right direction so that you can connect further, so that you can open up more, so that you can hear and feel and see the messages in a stronger way. And on that note, I also want to really encourage you to trust whatever comes for you. Okay, so this is what I hear over and over with my clients, with people in my groups, the people who reach out to me, is that the belief is that only some people have the quote-unquote gift. Some people are the quote-unquote lucky ones, perhaps, that are able to make these connections, to reach out and to connect and to translate the messages out here to other human beings, and that they are not. Right? So this is the belief that we have when we go to another healer or a psychic or a medium, or right? That's the belief. I need someone to connect me with whatever it is that you are wanting to connect. And this is the old paradigm, because for hundreds of years that paradigm has served us well. It has protected us from becoming too scared of our own powers and just completely shutting them down. So this also has to do with any religious affiliations, right? The affiliations of any religion that has served humankind for hundreds of years is the one that mankind is on one side, God, the Creator, Jesus, the angels, whomever else it is, the Buddha that the religion works with is on the other side, and that we need some type of intermediate somebody or something in order for us human beings to connect with the higher beings, with the higher forces, with divine light. And that has been put in place purposely, not just by mankind. It has been put there purposely because the consciousness, the collective consciousness, has not been able to hold on to the grandness that we actually are the divine, that we are part of the divine, that we are connected with the divine, and that we have direct access to the divine. And when I say divine, that's just the word that I use. And again, you substitute that word with whatever it is that you are working with. God, the Creator, infinite light, the universe, the angels, whatever it is, you substitute that word. I just use divine because that's the word that I'm using. And I just want to be clear on that, okay? So, for hundreds of years, humankind have had something or someone that they can go to that feels true, that feels sure, and that feels, here's the big word, safe, right? If I go to a priest as a Roman Catholic person or follower, I go to the priest and I ask them to forgive my sins, and the priest gives me the whatever it is that they give you, and then you go and you do your praying and you feel absolved, right? Or if you go through the Catholic Church in Italy, right, they have these portals they open every certain amount of years, and you just walk by them and all your sins are absolved. I've actually done that, and I actually did feel that. So it's very powerful. It's the faith, the intention, the belief that does that, right? When we are believing and allowing that middleman, so to speak, to help us connect with anything that is bigger than us, it has served us so that we can actually connect. Because as humankind has continued to evolve, the thought of, what, I'm part of the divine, or I can connect with the divine, or that's like too big. It's like, no. And the biggest drawbacks of that belief is that I am not good enough, or I am not worthy. I mean, if you look at any biblical stories, whenever the angel, God, or the light appears to anyone on the stories, the first thing they say, the divine says, or the angel says, is like, don't be afraid. First of all, we're afraid, right? Humankind has been afraid of whatever is showing up. And then second is the questioning of like, why me? I'm not worthy of this. I'm just like a regular person with like fears and anger. I lash out. I lose my temper. All of these things that we experience as human beings that we know are not in the best interest of anyone. We recognize this when we are connecting with something that is bigger than us. And then that makes us feel unworthy of the connection. I personally had this experience when I first started going through my journey. During meditation, I saw the face of Jesus appear to me, and it didn't appear to me as a picture or as a drawing like, you know, you would see on something. It began as this green neon lights that began to come together in the form of like the outline of his face, and it was sideways, and it was like a hologram, and he showed up, and I was like, hey, what is that? And then I was like, hey, that looks like Jesus. No, it can't be Jesus. And the first thought and feeling I had was like, it cannot be, because I don't even go to church. What would Jesus be doing here showing himself up to me? That was my thought. That was my belief, right? I had to work a lot to in order to accept this, that yeah, it actually was the connection. Yeah, Jesus is with me. Yeah, it's nothing to do with the religious beliefs that I had. It was like a huge thing. I'm not going to go into that, but it's that feeling of unworthiness that prevent us from becoming one again with everything, with the divine, with God, the powerful beings, right? With other realms, because we have forgotten purposely as well, who we truly are. When we incarnate on this earth, we immediately forget that we are part of the bigger picture. Most of us. I mean, now there's a lot of children who are coming into this world already remembering. But for most of us, this has been the story. This has been the journey, and it happens for a reason, because on the other side, when you leave this earth, when you die, right, your soul moves on, your body dies, you leave your body, and you can go back to the other side when you become once again one and integrated with everything. And you get to feel that infinite love, that infinite true love that is encompassed by everything. And you become one of everything. The way I understand it is like, if you feel or think of someone, there you are instantly, right? This is why we can move so quickly. That's why time does not exist or space does not exist, because you can think of, hey, it was nice to see an elephant in Africa. Boom, there you are in Africa experiencing it. That's how it feels like. That's what my understanding of what it is when we are on the other side, when we are in spirit, when we are part of the wholeness, of the oneness, right? But when we are here on our body, incarnated in our physical body, we are limited to what our physical bodies can do. And so we believe that this is all there is. And we believe that we are separate from the divine. And if we remembered that we're actually part of everything, if we really came in like really remembering this and knowing this, we would have a really difficult life going through the lessons that we have been wanting to experience and learn here on earth, because this earth is not all pure love and powerful. You cannot think of an elephant in Africa if you're in the US and instantly be there, right? Like physically. You can be there in energy, but you cannot be there physically, right? And so we know that we have limitations to our three-dimensional body, and we feel separate. We feel the separateness. And so if we came into this world knowing and remembering all of that which we have forgotten, we would not want to be here, because it's so difficult to feel like, wait a second, I could do that before and now I can't. Or I could feel this infinite love from every single being around me and now I don't. Now I feel judged. Now I feel small. Now I feel like I have no powers. Like I can't do anything. Like I can't make a difference, right? All of this are physical, human things that we go through in order to expand our soul, to expand our experiences. But that is not who we are, and this is one of the reasons why when we come and incarnate into this world, we forget. And from here, I want to go on and move on to that part of the trust. When you have not gone into, let's say, yoga or meditating or anything like that, or reading type of spiritual books, and then all of a sudden there's a shift that happens within you and you begin to do those things, right? When you begin to do these things, that is your soul waking you up, and beginning to send you those messages of remembrance so that you can then again learn to connect with your higher self, with the divine, with God, with the Creator. And begin to remember who you are, for what reason, for what purpose, so that you can also be a part of helping others awaken and raise the frequency and bring the whole consciousness of the world to a better place, when we are all acting together to help each other, when we are becoming of service to each other, when we're not feeling the lack of anything, because there's so much abundance and we all know it. And when we begin to act on this from the place of love, from your heart, then everything just seems to flow and go in the direction that it feels like bliss. It feels like you have brought heaven down here to earth. That's part of why people are waking up right now. This is part of why you might be thinking or feeling or being drawn to do things that you had not been drawn to do your entire life before. Maybe you did it once or twice, and maybe it didn't resonate with you. Maybe you just couldn't handle it, but now it's coming back. A lot of people woke up during 2020 because there was nothing else to do. This was also designed, right? This is like beautifully designed. Like, okay, everybody go home, can't go anywhere, and you have a choice now. You can begin to buy into the fear and just go down that spiral of like, I can't do anything. I'm just this poor little body on myself, and I'm going to die, right? Like all of that fear. Or you can go into the part of like, okay, who exactly am I? What else is there? What else is there? Show me, right? And then things come into your awareness. You can have new apps or new ads for apps that have meditation or yoga or teachings or different ascended masters or old books like Yogananda showing up in your feed and you wanting to click on it and listening to the messages, right? That is your soul giving you those little whispers and say, right here, listen to this, right here, look at that, right here, read this book, right? So this is the way that works. If you are beginning to feel these things and you still believe that you're separate, that you're just this one body with a soul and that's it, then the guys really want to remind you that that's not it. If you're already doing that, you are already opening up, you're already remembering, you're already connecting, you're already receiving the messages. I just spoke to a client a couple of days ago, and they were saying that I don't have anything, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything. And therefore, I don't have what you have, right? And it is in the comparison of how does that person receive and I don't, therefore I must not, right? That's the comparison. It doesn't matter who you're comparing yourself to, anyone. If you're comparing yourself to anyone that has something that you don't. But when we begin to compare ourselves to others and how they receive their messages, and we're not receiving them that way, it's really easy to believe that there's something wrong with us, that we're broken, and that we're not special, or that we're not connected, or that we don't have those gifts. When in fact, what you're being asked to do is to sit quietly, quiet your mind, and just allow anything to come your way. The issue is that as humans, we're looking for like, what am I going to see? What am I going to feel? What am I going to hear? And all of those things are very linear, and you're expecting a specific thing. But we all have the gifts that we have been born with. And when you begin to wake up and when you begin to feel different things and go down the path of spiritual learning or expansion, you will find that when you surrender, when you just let things go without looking for the hows, how am I going to receive the message, that you will connect and realize that the way that you receive your messages is different than anyone else that you're looking at, right? And so, for example, for me, I'll give you an example. When my dog Scarlett passed away, she crossed over. She was a really old dog. We were in the backyard when she crossed, and I saw her, I'm going to put that in quotes, quote unquote, I saw her once she left her body in the back bushes of my yard. And I saw her sitting there, and she was good, and I had this sense of peace and completion, and okay, I knew she was done. She was gone. I knew she was there, right? I saw her, and she was happy. Now, when I say I saw her, I didn't see her with my eyes. I didn't see like a ghost of her or a hologram of her or a shape of her with my human eyes. I just saw her, I don't know where, like somewhere in my mind. It's a knowing. For me, I receive the messages as a knowing. It's there. It's there, and then it's not. And then it comes and then it goes, right? It just depends on what I'm receiving. But I am not seeing it with my eyes. But that's the only way that I can explain to people when I'm sharing my stories that that's what happened to me. Like I saw this or I heard this, right? So we get stuck in the meaning of the words. We get stuck in like, oh, well, she said or he said, she saw, I don't see, therefore I don't have. You have to remember that it's really difficult to put things that are from different dimensions, from different realms into the three-dimensional world and explain it in a way that we actually have words for it. We really don't have words for it. So everyone who is a mystic or a psychic or a medium and is explaining to other humans how they receive the messages, they are using, and that's me included, words that make sense to the human population in their language as best as we can explain it, but that's not actually what it is. And we don't come to this conclusion until we experience it on our own, until we experience this feeling or this knowing or this seeing on our own. And then we're going to try to explain it to other people. You're going to see that, oh, wait a second. I said I heard, but I actually didn't. I thought it was my thoughts in my head. Should I say I thought about it? Right? And so then you're going to start figuring out what type of language you can use to explain what you are experiencing. So that is the biggest limiting belief. If you are awakening or expanding your gifts and you're wanting more and you're feeling as if I'm not as good as fill in the blank, anybody else there, there's so many people, right, that we can choose from, then you're limiting yourself because you're stopping your own messages from being received in your own human and energetic body because you're looking for the how. You're looking for the how and you're trying to make it what other people are saying and what that means to you. So allow your mind to just go quiet. Allow all the negative talk and all those voices in your head that says you can't or that you're not receiving or that you are receiving but it's the wrong way or whatever it is that you're listening to, quiet it all down. Quiet it down and sit there in silence so that you can actually figure out which is the way that you personally are receiving your messages, which is the way that you are connecting. It's going to be different. It's going to be different for everybody, right? Even for two people who can, let's say, hear a message like on their ear, right? It's going to be different for them. Even if it's like 2 or 3 or 100 people who hear things, right? They're going to hear it differently. That's the message. The message is to trust what is coming through and to know that if you're already listening to this podcast or other things that are similar to this, if you're already going down that rabbit hole, if you're all going already reading books or watching videos or whatever it is that you're doing that's mystical, that's different than what you used to do, you are already receiving the messages. You are already going down the path. You are already following, and this is so important, following the whispers that your soul is giving you. When you realize that you're following the whispers, like, hey, maybe I should meditate, even though I haven't meditated in 30 years or ever, and now all of a sudden I want to do it, that is you following the whisper that's coming in for you to be able to connect better, expand your awareness, expand your own consciousness, and raise your frequency. So these are the little nuggets. It's also very, 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 very subtle. So subtle. And you know why it's so subtle? Because you've had these gifts your entire life. And because you've had these gifts your entire life, you know what that means? That you think it's normal, or that everyone has it the same as you, or that everyone can see that. This is why a lot of people don't talk about it. Then when they start realizing that, wait a second, other people don't have it like that they can't do what I can do, then they start realizing that, oh, that's me connecting to something other than me in this body, right? So this is why it's so subtle. When I work in the Akashic Records, for those of you who don't know, what the Akashic Records are is an infinite library that has all of the books of every single person's bodies, animals, things, stories, and every single thing that you have said, done, experienced. Infinite. And we use it to go back into that and ask for awareness, ask for information that can help us navigate something that we're going through right now so that we can clear it. That's just in a nutshell, just like a little thing. But I was very interested in the Akashic Records when I started my journey, and I was trying to connect and I couldn't. And people would say, oh, when I open the records, I feel this tingling on my crown chakra. Somebody would say, oh, I feel really heavy. Oh, I feel very light. Oh, whatever, right? People would say, and explain to me what they would physically feel or know when they open the records and how they know they're in the records now, as opposed to not being in them. And no matter what I did, I didn't feel any of those things. I felt nothing. And I thought, I'm a failure. I can't do it. This is not for me. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's not for me. Only they can do it. I can't. That was my belief. Exactly like what you're feeling about other things that you're wanting to do. And then I was drawn to take a course. There's so many people teaching how to read the records, and I took a course with a specific person that I felt that, yeah, this is the right teacher for me, and I did. And while I was in that container, in that group, in that journey, learning how to open the records, how to connect, how to do the things, it was revealed to me that I am always in the records. I have always been in the records. This is where I get my information. When I work with a client, I don't have to open the records. Sometimes I do, on purpose for the client's benefit, because it's their belief that it needs to be open in a specific way. But I don't need to do that, because I'm already in. As soon as I connect with a person, I'm in the records. I'm receiving information from their past, if that's what is needed. And because I'm always in the records, when I was trying to open the records with the prayer or with the ways that they were teaching me to do, I didn't feel a difference because I was already in them. I'm always in there. And so it felt so natural. I'm already in it. There's no difference for me. That was a natural thing, a natural gift that I had. And therefore, I didn't feel any difference. You know what I'm saying here? This is why things may feel like it's nothing. It may feel like it's you thinking. It may feel like you are making it up. That's why it's so important to get someone to validate these things for you when you're going through it. Because otherwise, your ego will always tell you you made it up, or that it didn't happen, or that wasn't anything. This is the value of getting someone to actually help you open up and guide you in your journey to connect and remember and figure out what the things that you're going through is. That's the value right there. Anyway, from there on, this is why you might be feeling like I don't feel anything or I don't see anything. It might be that is so natural to you, that is so integrated within you that you don't even know the difference, but you actually are connected. The guides really want you to know that you really are connected. You're never alone. You're always supported. You're infinitely loved. And they're really giving you that message of trust right now. Trust whatever it is that's coming through, and then act upon it so that you can continue to expand, to learn, and to remember who you are. I love you so much. And with that, I'm going to go. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.